This is the Rest of Everest video podcast, an almost unabridged expedition experience. Episode 14, Calling Karma.
Hey, you.
Well, hello again, everyone. Welcome back to the Rest of Everest video podcast. I'm John Miller. I'm actually doing this podcast today from the coast of Maine. My family has a cottage right on the ocean, and I'm taking the first vacation I've taken in just about over a year. It's just been really nice, and it's a lot of fun to watch some of this Everest footage here in Maine because I'm at sea level, and it's a world away, literally, from Everest. And I personally live in Colorado, up at 6,000 feet or so, and so you feel kind of superhuman when you come down to sea level. You feel like you have all the energy in the world, and you can do. You just have tons of endurance and everything. So I hope you guys can endure through this podcast here. Hopefully there's not too much background noise. And this is a pretty cool episode. So let's head back up from the coast of Maine up to Everest Base Camp in Tibet. Here we go. Okay, so what we started here with is we're trying to place a telephone call back to Karma in Kathmandu because we have a bunch of equipment that's missing, and we also just really want to find out about Major's condition. Major has left now at this point a couple of days ago, and there's just been no word of where he is, how he's doing, if he's okay, just all kinds of things. It's just this huge mystery.
Try +1 and then dial the number, see if that'll work.
You can hear some of the Sherpas in the background singing. They were always whistling or singing. It's just,
it must be the
always a lot of noise.
Or something. Is there a country code for Nepal?
Yeah, it's a 977.
Okay, try the.
I did.
Oh, you did? Maybe it's just plus.
So this is a satellite phone. It's an Iridium, Motorola Iridium 9505, and dialing with it, it's not like dialing a regular telephone. And so it can be a little bit confusing sometimes.
The plus first, and then what is
001?
it? Or I don't think there's any 001. What is it? 977.
Yeah, 98.
Okay.
51. Oh, sorry. 98 110.
198. That's it.
Yep.
Let's see this go.
Yep.
Oh, good. Took a while.
Come on. Major Dangu Dini Twins to the Parlep Soy, Kathmandu. Oh, excellent. Any Angdawaka Panika Dutuere?
So, since I don't speak Nepali, that was basically the only indication that we got that Karma had told Lhawang everything was okay with Major. These guys then immediately got into business, and this was all that that's really all that we knew about Major's condition. Some of the other business that they're trying to take care of, there's Boca there, was trying to discover the location of our generator. We had a generator that being sent up to us, and we were kind of dead in the water right now because we didn't have any power. You know, a lot of people have asked us, how do we charge all of our batteries and everything? And you know, people thought maybe we've used solar, but when you are making a film, you've got just an incredible amount of battery power that you need to keep charged, and there's just no way to charge it by solar power only. You really need to have a gas-powered generator. So we were having sent up to us a little two-stroke generator, and two-stroke engines don't work terribly well at altitude, and so we ended up having some difficulty with a generator. But some of the other teams had some four-cylinder generators, which are a lot more efficient.
Major arrived safely. He's safe and sound, and so he's going to send us generator to those people are coming tomorrow, leaving Kathmandu tomorrow. Okay. So he'll send him with them, and it'll be arriving here about like 20 seconds.
Oh, 22nd?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we had to kind of like, I don't know
Is
how to
there-
turn it off. Like,
yeah, let's turn it up down here.
oh, down there.
Is there going to be, of any other way we can get?
Oh,
Because that's a...
Is there a vehicle we could have sitting here?
Yeah, and charge off the battery, or...
no, our vehicle's gone.
Yeah.
So I think one thing what we could do is maybe we could go to. I'll talk to the LO liaison officer because they have a big generator.
Okay.
Might able to like charge some of the batteries over there.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Yeah. I'll give him some money, too, for that. I mean,
Yes.
if we could get access to it,
Exactly.
I'd give him $100.
Yeah.
For the... I mean, but I won't charge everything.
Yeah, charge everything.
Yeah, he's happy. Measures.
He's happy?
He's feeling okay?
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, he arrived today.
That's good.
So is he not sick anymore?
Oh, he's fine.
yeah.
Yeah. And then the other thing is, if we need anything, we just like email him
Okay.
because there'll be like our group going back and forth.
Yeah.
So they could like kind of
Okay.
bring it over here, any battery or things.
Yeah, I think all we need is just...
He's gonna send that manual to it.
Okay, yeah, for the began. Yeah, well, if there's anything we can do to get stuff charged up the next
Okay.
day,
Yeah, I'll do that
because
tomorrow.
we'll have the CNN thing. It'll be day after tomorrow.
Day after tomorrow.
Yeah, they'll really want that.
Definitely.
And then after that, it doesn't matter. We're gonna go climb and leave all this shit behind.
All right. No problem.
Yeah, cool. All right, Boca the Diplomat.
So in that conversation there, Major, we found out that Major was okay, and the reality was that he really wasn't okay. He had severe pneumonia brought on by altitude, and he ended up having to stay in the hospital for a couple of days in Kathmandu, and then against the doctor's wishes there, he ended up flying back to the United States, where he then had a chest x-ray, and it was discovered that his lungs were completely filled with pneumonia. It was really quite scary. And he was actually in really dire condition when he left base camp, and had he not left when he did, then it's possible he could have died. So in that conversation there, Lhawang talks about we can send emails to him. Well, he was actually talking about karma. He would go back and forth between talking about Major and then talking about karma. So it was a little bit confusing all the way around, but certainly not Nomad Expeditions' fault. So here we are, further up the moraine next to the Lhawang Glacier, and these are yaks. These are official yaks. And as you can see, they're absolutely packed full of equipment. Now, all of the teams utilize teams of yaks to carry all of the gear needed for the next 40 or so days up to Advanced Base Camp, which is 6,000 meters or so, about 21,000 feet. And so you get these gigantic yak trains that are going up and down the glacier. And these are the Tibetan yak herders. Ben went out on this little jaunt here and he filmed all of this stuff. So if you hear a voice, that's actually Ben. If you listen carefully, you can hear that all of the yaks are wearing bells. And you can actually also hear the yak herders kind of hissing and whistling at the yak to try to get them to stay on the trail. That sound there is just such a familiar sound. It is most certainly the sound of base camp. Those red containers are canisters of propane. And like you saw Pasong doing the other day, everything has been weighed out and it's all been carefully portioned so that the yaks didn't have too much to carry. Every so often you'll see something off the top of the screen. this black blob. That's one of my microphones. It's in many shots.
So what are you doing?
Sharpening up the old spikes. This way, when we run into that hard bulletproof ice up there, be able to shoot straight through it. Have good traction. If you don't take care of your gear, you're not taking care of yourself.
I think this whole thing here we might have just filmed for the movie. I don't know if it had any real purpose. It might have been all staged. A little secret between me and you guys. But there is always something to do. You can always find something to keep yourself busy when you're getting ready to make the climb. And you know, it's actually it's nice to have the time to do that. It's nice to have a little bit of downtime to be able to take care of all the loose ends. And I guess no pun intended here, as he's got all these loose ends of rope. So that right there is one of his ascenders, and that is the item that he was missing in one of the last episodes, where he found it in his down suit. But that's basically what attaches him to the fixed ropes and allows him to climb. Basically, allows him to climb Everest. Definitely a beautiful view from base camp. Like I said before, that was we had the camp furthest up the moraine towards Everest, and so you don't see any other camps in the view here. But we had many camps behind me, the photographer. So we weren't alone. And we certainly weren't alone this day. This is a couple of monks from the Monastery, and they had arrived at our camp to prepare for the puja ceremony, which is basically a blessing ceremony where we are trying to be in the good spirits of the mountain for the climb. And it's this elaborate ceremony, and all of these little sculptures are formed out of yak butter and this green powder called sampa. And sampa is actually something that can be eaten as well. I wish I knew the significance of the sculptures here and what they all meant. But it sure was fun to watch them make them. You can tell that these guys have done this before. It's all very precise. You know, in the rest of this episode and in the next episode, everyone's going to see probably more of a puja ceremony than probably they'll ever see again. The puja ceremony is fairly long, but it's great. It's a wonderful ceremony. I thought it was going to be just extremely formal and rigid, but it was almost like a little bit of a party. Very enjoyable, and we just had a lot of people there, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had a great time, and so these guys really made it a special thing for us. And not all the teams have a puja ceremony, but you know, like we said before, you really want to experience the culture when you're at a place like this. You don't want to be, I think as Ben put, hermetically sealed from the culture. So you want to really do whatever you can to, you know, honor their culture and traditions while you're there, because this, you know, you are definitely in their country, and you really want to respect that, and you want to learn, and you want to experience as much as you can, and this was just a wonderful way to do that.
Ini awis ko inji mai di pom di payula to chide. Tade ngomong ala kalau pom di jam siji payula. Daja.
I only wish I could have learned more. Could be describing exactly what all of this means and exactly how it's used. It's all very elaborate. Now these guys actually live up there. They live at the monastery that we showed, was it episode 11 or so? And this is literally their home. This is where they live. You can see this getting more and more elaborate as it goes on. It really was something to look at.
Hey. Hey, ngán thà vừa nữa chứ. Chẳng được chấm.
Now those two girls right there, they came to help with the puja, and they actually lived down at there's a little shanty village that forms, and it's made out of basically tarps and wooden crates, and it forms to basically serve the climbers. It's a little cottage industry that forms at the base of base camp to, you know, sell climbers beer and food, and if they need anything, tourists, trekkers, anything like that. So they were there to help, and we'll see more about them next week. There's some certain fashion that was very popular amongst the girls, the Tibetan girls at base camp. Just one more thing to show you that everyone's really pretty much all alike, especially teenagers. So, well, thanks so much for joining me on this episode. I hope there wasn't too much background noise of boats going by and whatnot. But next episode is the puja itself, and that really is cool, and I'm very proud to show as much as I'm going to show. I really think that it'll give everyone a really good sense of some of the cultural traditions up there, and I found it very exciting and very relaxing and very spiritual and just a very meaningful thing. So it's definitely one of my greatest memories. It really was too bad that Major wasn't able to experience it with us. So thanks so much, everyone, and please keep the emails coming. I really enjoy them, and I really am glad to see that everyone is enjoying it as much as I'm enjoying it. And we're going to keep this podcast going for quite a while now. There's so much left to show. So yeah, just keep shooting me emails. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks so much, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
The Rest of Everest is downloaded all over the world every week. If you enjoy watching and would like to show your support, then take a look at my website. Aside from having lots of additional blog entries from the expedition updated every week, there's this little donation button on every page. Now, many of you have pressed that button, and your generous contributions are helping to cover my hosting fees. If you haven't donated but would like to, then just contribute any amount. In return, I'll give you access to the video and audio dispatches I sent out while we were actually at Everest. It's pretty interesting stuff. Contribute $25 or more, and I'll even throw in an iPod-compatible version of the film Everest: The Other Side. That's the project the entire podcast here is based on. As always, our announcer is Marlon May, and our music is provided by Wendy Wu. Check her out at wendywu.com. Thanks so much, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you for watching The Rest of Everest. For more information on the expedition, please visit therestofeverest.com.
Surprise.